Here with Loud and Heavy, here with Exmortus, and go ahead and introduce all you guys.
I'm David. I play guitar.
I am Conan. I play guitar and sing.
I'm Aldo. I play bass. I'm Mario. I play drums.
Nice. So you guys just started this tour, right?
Yeah. I mean, tonight's the third night going into it. The first two shows are pretty cool. You know, rocking it. We got there late yesterday, but it was okay, you know, because they got food for us and stuff. So
That was fucking awesome.
How's playing the Bay Area?
anytime.
Oh, playing the Bay Area is pretty fucking fun. Last time we've been up here was two months ago maybe. So it's great to be back here. So I mean, it's always good. I like the scene.
Do they still get any good old school thrash pits going on? Any good circle pits?
Well, last night not so much. I mean, it's funny. We've been playing a lot of the new stuff, and I mean, they're just kind of just watching us, which is cool because they're paying attention. So I'm having a good time because you're like, yeah, got your attention somehow. So
Yeah.
So tell me about the kind of the success you guys are having with the new album. I mean, especially with the whole Virgin Mobile thing going on, and Sirius is kind of kicking you guys up pretty high. I mean, you know, you guys landed what, number 5 or top 5 or something like that, listener domination or something like that recently.
That's last time I saw.
How's that been treating you?
It was a trip, man. Because I mean, we went to New York and we did the whole Sirius thing. It was just a trip going into the building and then just like going up there and meeting like Jose Mangan and all them, and just because all of the people that have been in there before, and they had like Eminem's radio station and like all this a bunch of shit where like just a bunch of interesting stuff, and then like doing the interview was pretty cool, and everybody was like people I haven't talked to in a long time were coming out and just being like, dude, I was like driving through the Midwest and like, dude, I heard you on Sirius, and I was like, what the fuck, really? Like, I didn't even fucking I think at the time we were just so like busy with the tour that it didn't even hit us, like, because it probably hit us like when we got back, and I guess people were talking about it, but on the tour we were just like tour mode, and you know what I mean. So
How the whole Virgin Mobile thing happened?
they sent us an email and for an audition, and then we all went down there, and there was like a whole just casting call of bands, all dudes in like Hot Topic fucking bracelets on, trying to look the part and shit, and then like all you did was just go in this room and then just circle headbang to the song. Like
Really?
he played drums on chairs, like it was just
Pretty funny. Yeah.
it was fucking hilarious just to do it. But then as soon as we did it, they were like, oh man, fuck yeah, that's what we're looking for, like. So then they called us the next day, and then they're like, okay, come in for the rehearsal, and then after the rehearsal, like a day went by, and then we filmed it and shit like that. So then it was good like that.
10 hours of shooting, or 8 hours of shooting, I think, for 30 seconds, 30-second commercial.
That's not that bad, actually. I mean,
Our bodies were pretty sore.
Yeah, wrecked.
The neck, that intense 30-minute, piece was pretty cool.
but you guys did a music video too, right? For State of the Sword, right?
Or yeah, Faux Hammer.
Oh, was it Faux Hammer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I mean, who'd you guys work with on that?
That was Ron.
Yeah.
Ron Underwood. That's right. Ron Underwood, and yeah, we did that. What studios was that at? I forget.
It was like in Glendale or Burbank.
It was called like Hollywood something Studios or some shit, wasn't
It
it?
was pretty nice.
Can't remember.
Well, the video came out good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thanks.
We did like how many
I think we did like 20. We did the song 20 times.
Yeah.
From beginning to end.
Like
to
full
get
performances
every,
of
like,
the
yeah.
song.
From beginning to end, full performance. Like, it was funny because when we were filming it, we were all like getting into it. We didn't want to like, I don't know. And we wanted every take to be raw,
Yeah.
and real. And Ron was like, I'm not even filming you guys. Like, you guys don't even have to.
Yeah.
Every
like-
take was just 20 times of like.
Just fucking going all out.
And
Yeah.
we were like, yeah, okay, Ron, and then we just kept doing it. Like, we didn't. I couldn't help it, man. He's got to get into it,
No, yeah. Hey, I've shot a couple music videos. It's a good time, man. It's a
Yeah.
long process.
Yeah.
So
But it's always fun.
you guys are on Prosthetic Records now, right?
Yes.
With the new album. How are they treating you? Are they pushing the album as hard for you guys?
We've been getting a lot of press for it, so I mean, I'm pretty stoked about it to this day. Came out February. Yeah, everything's looking good for it. I mean, Prosthetic's been treating us pretty well.
You guys looking forward to going on tour with any other prosthetic bands?
Oh, Skeleton, which would be so awesome. Yes.
Love Skeleton Witch.
Holy Grail too.
Holy Grail,
Holy
you're wearing a
Grail.
shirt? Yes, Holy Grail, yeah, I just noticed that, yeah. Of course, yeah, that'd be so sick.
Was there any kind of concept behind the album? And if so, like, what was that concept?
You came up with that name.
Yeah, it's a lot of kind of like we sing a lot about like fantasy you know. But the album is like kind of about struggles of life and still kind of overcoming a lot of that. And a lot of that refers to the bands, like, you know, we've been a band for a long time, and like a lot of bands, it's hard to get out there. You have to constantly be playing. You know, it's a big commitment, and you know, the sword, Slave to the Sword, is supposed to, you know, reference the sword is the band, you know, and we're kind of like slaves to it. So it's like kind of a I don't know what you would consider that album being like.
It's a metaphor of our life.
Metaphor, yeah, metaphor.
Metaphorical, yeah.
All the whole album is kind of.
It's not even a metaphor, it's real.
Yeah.
Well, from what I understand, a lot of the LA thrash bands right now, I mean, from what I talked to Warbringer and stuff like that, I mean, you guys are all slaves to the road too.
Yeah.
And I mean, talk a little bit about the LA thrash scene and how it's kind of evolved over the last few years, because you have been around for a while.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about that.
Yeah, we have. Well, you know, we don't play LA as much as I think we should.
Yeah.
We play like maybe like a few times a year, which compared to other cities we play a lot. We play a little more, like, you know, once a month. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's changed a lot. It's sometimes I kind of feel for thrash shows it's hit or miss. Maybe recently, you know.
That's pretty much everywhere, though.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah,
it's tough. It's a tough genre.
Yeah, I think with LA, it's like there's always a good scene, just not always the scene you're in.
Yeah.
so I think it's kind of like that. I think it's a good way of putting it.
Because I think it's kind of funny over the last, I would say probably since 2000-ish. I mean, you look at kind of the scenes that have happened over the U.S. and, you know, you look at, well, not just since 2000, but you look at the 80s, obviously, with the Bay Area and how big the thrash scene was then. Then you look at Boston and the whole scene that was happening in the late 90s, early 2000s, and now all these thrash bands are starting to come out of L.A.
Yeah.
So it's just crazy to me to watch it happen. Are there any bands down there that you just absolutely have to play with every single time you play down there?
Well, there's bands that we just love, like this is band. Well, they're not from LA, but they play in LA. Night Demon, they're like a heavy metal band, you know, shit like that. And then there's another like a death metal band called Insentient.
Yes, and
Cerebrus. Those are all
Technical
like
death
technical death metal bands that are from LA. That like, I mean, I love to just fucking see them. So I, you know, love to play with them and shit. And I think we all like, you know, work well together. They're just musicians that just work hard at the craft.
Nice.
You know, fucking precise.
So, who are the original members of Exmortus? Because
These two guys.
okay, I could. Okay, where'd the name come from? Because it's. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's fictional, but is it just you
Evil
guys are out
Dead.
there going in? Oh, really?
Yeah.
What part of Evil Dead?
Evil Dead 2, the Necronomicon.
The
Exmortus.
beginning of the movie.
Oh.
The very beginning of the movie, you see like all these like the animation stuff or whatever they use for that, and it's like the book opens up. It's like something. The Necronomicon Exmortus, Book of the Dead, and then we're like, "Fuck, that's so sick."
Well, now I feel really
Use
shitty.
that.
Because I should know that.
No, it's good. It's like,
Yeah, we're big Evil Dead fans. We still are, but you know, as kids, like we were just like so like that movie like scared the shit out of us, and you know, like, we thought when we were thinking of titles, we were like, Exmortus sounds evil.
it's gonna scare the shit out of people.
13, 14 years old.
So you're awfully quiet back there.
Oh yeah. I just, you know, throughout this whole time, I stepped out of band, you know, the whole baby thing, and then, you know, but I watched it all happen. You know, they were calling me or texting me, you know, on the road, and I was just like, man, that's cool. You know, they're doing it. You know, and I remember when we recorded the album was like February, and just practicing every day for that album was insane. So I could only imagine playing it every night, you know, night after night. I was like, damn, dude.
Let's talk about how great is it to be back in the band, and how great was it to still have your son born too, though? You know.
Yeah, it's both of them. It's like, you know, it's like you work at something, you know, and then, you know, you leave for a while and you feel like, oh man, you know, I want to go back and, you know, just perfect, you know. And you know, I was thinking like, oh, you know, I'm probably never gonna go back, and, you know, there's not really a chance to. And, you know, meanwhile, it was great to have a son. You know, he was born, you know, he was just a little guy, like a little human, just a little you, dude. Yeah, and then, you know, I was like, you're gonna be so metal. Like, that's the first thing I thought, because he came out screaming, bloody, you know, and I was just like, oh, dude, it's like Battleborn, you know, which is one of the songs. It was blowing up in my head, you know, the song, and I was just
born
like,
in the midst of
yes.
battle.
Yeah.
You know, so then I just, you know, the whole time I was gone, I was just, you know, raising him, you know, working and, you know, thinking about music, you know, in my head, and I just was like, dude, I'm slave to the sword, dude. Like, I had to come back. It brought me back in, you know. So I was just like, you know, jamming out one day, and I was like, dude, I wish I could join the band again. And they're like, why don't you? And I'm like, I don't know, man, you know. And then we just kind of happened, and then that's it, you know. And it pulled me back in. I had to come back, you know. So it's pretty crazy. It's crazy life right now, but I feel like, you know, maybe I can balance it. Well, I have to balance it.
Yeah,
You know,
for
so
sure.
it's like, dude, it's insane. I don't. There's no words to describe this. It's cool. You know, it feels good.